What's up, Vape fam? How y'all doing out there across the globe? Welcome to another episode of the Ohm Kiwis. It is number 62. Hey, Megs, how you doing, girl?
Oh, God. I feel like a headless chicken right now.
Megs is a hot mess. For once, I was waiting on her to start the show, so that's always a flip around. Although, with the hectic schedule helping her sister out over the last few weeks that you guys have heard about, Megs has actually been really crook, so she's suffering for working hard. And well, yes, we're thankful that Megs can join us today and that she's feeling better to be able to do the show. I hope you guys are all feeling well. I hope you guys are all happy and healthy because it's winter here in New Zealand, and as we all know, everybody gets a little bit sicker at winter time, and that's never fun.
Oh, and winter is
Meg.
definitely rearing its ugly head today. Oh my goodness. It
I
is
was
so
just gonna
cold.
say, it's so cold, and New Zealand is just about, or just started to be hit with another storm. So please, dear darling fans, pray to the internet gods for us that this live stream does behave, because we are aware there is bad weather in the area between the two of us, as it usually goes through the Cook Strait between the two islands. So I hope everybody's happy, healthy. Hey to all the global fam, no matter the season you're in. I see a few of us hanging out there. I'm just going to wait till my YouTube catches up with numbers and things. Today's a little bit special too, Mex. We're doing another mod review, honey.
I know. And the timing of it was like, it would have been awesome if I had not gotten sick. We haven't had this setup that we're reviewing today for very long, and when I received it, I was just on the cusp of getting unwell, and come the weekend, I was full blown bedridden, didn't want to do anything, and yes, I just sat there.
Like I said, I'm so grateful that Megs is feeling better to be able to join us tonight and do this. So yeah, unlike last week's show where we had the mod for a couple of weeks, this one we've only had for about 5 days. So we will give you our honest opinions on this darling piece, this sleek wee baby. Courtesy of the Vaping Kiwi. He's the man of the episode, Mr. Tim up in Auckland. We love you, darling. This wee baby was sent to us from him, and we will give you our best thoughts on it for the last few days that we've had it. So just like last week, for those of you who may be new to joining us, this is a little bit different style of show. The review part of mods, this is new. So we're doing it a little bit different to how other reviews are out there.
Yeah, because most reviewers tend to pre-record their reviews, whereas we're doing it live and we're discussing it with you. And it's more of a conversational type of review. We're doing something different from the norm.
And it's the way you talk to all your mates. You know, you're like, if you got a new mod and you've gone around to your bro's house and you're going to have a conversation about your new mod and you're going to talk about its features, its pros, cons, things going on with it for you. So in that aspect, we're going to do a review, which is more of a conversation between us and from using it, telling you guys about it. And for those of you guys out in live chat, feel free to throw us questions and ask if you're interested about it, what would you like to know about this mod? So like we said, it's conversation style. So we're gonna pretty much. Oh, hang on. Oh, we'll do the usual shout outs. Don't you worry. I haven't forgotten. We got the review. We're gonna jump into that in a few minutes, and then in a wee bit after we have done the Revenger with the NRG tank kit. The whole thing is the kit. We're going to announce the winners from last week's random giveaway that happened while we were live. That was totally spontaneous from the vendor of last week's episode. So we'll draw those winners in about an hourish. Stick around or come back then if that's what you're hanging for. We hope you're going to stick around. Hit those thumbs up, guys. We want to see the love. And so we'll announce those winners in a wee bit. And then we're going to chat about a few other things as well that have been going on in the community, local and global. Right, let's see who's hanging. Hey, we got Tim's in the house. I just spotted him. Vaping Kiwi is here to say hi. All right. What's up out there to Mr. Ben Pritchard? And we got Elmo, Nick in the house. Jen, 44 South. Maxie's hanging out there. Mr. Lawrence. Wow, we got a nice wee little South crew just happening in a wee bunch there. South Island crew. Oh, lots of Kiwis hanging. Hey, what's up out there, Moses, darling? And Nadia, you made it live, darling. Welcome. Hey there to Church, hanging out from the US. And Link, darling, you're hanging out from the US as well. And Tim, of course, Vaping Kiwis out there in the chat, and he's hanging out from Auckland. UW, mwah, big loves to Sweden, and mwah, big loves to Vince out there in Canada. Hope everybody is well. Hope everybody is having a great day, whatever it may be for you. Tuesday night some places, Wednesday morning, or if you're here in New Zealand, it's Wednesday night. And of course, can't forget, hey to those lurkers. Hey, lurkers. Actually, I had a funny wee conversation in one of our Facebook groups on our show post this afternoon, just randomly. Whole lot of gifs. We're talking about the lurkers, and I really want some hay. I want some straw right now, so I could just wave it and just be like, "Hey." To the lurkers. It was one of the gifts. I'd love to reenact that gift. Anyway. All right, let's jump into it, Megan. Right, okay. So as we all know, mine is the lesser flash camera. So I'm gonna show you what I'm rocking. I've got the blue one. Ha ha ha. Look at that. And Tim sent me an awesome, nice wide. I really like the wide bands tank for the glass. Covers good half of it. I can still see my fill. This is the Revenger from Vaporesso. Vaporesso. I've kept saying it wrong all week. Vaporesso. Are they Italian? I think they're Italian. I didn't this is the first mod of theirs I've actually had any interest in. So I have never previously really looked too much into them as a company. Vaporesso. I keep forgetting the O in the middle. So yeah, I've got the sexy blue. Megs, or you will see in a minute, she's just swapping her camera around to do the close-ups, has the sexy red, and it also comes in an all black model. It's really sleek. It's good in the hand. It's a really nice fit in my hand. I love it. We will do a size comparison. Hey, look, my cuboid's on hand. Cuboid's a good mod because even if you don't have one, a lot of people generally know the size of it. Now, this is way lighter than cuboid. I'm not doing a weight comparison here. I'm going to do a size for you. So we've got, camera. If you look there, the cuboid's actually slightly taller. I don't know mils. I don't have my measuring out right now, but hang on. Flat on the hand marks. The cuboid is slightly taller, and I want to say approximately the same width, although the Revenger does look like it maybe have a mil on it. However, the Revenger has this sort of curving. You'll see all these details close up in just a minute. Don't you worry. I'm just having a spiel because I really like this curving on the outside. I'm not actually quite sure. I'm trying to put it in front of my face. It's just slight, but it adds to the molding in the hand. It really fits nice. The style of this mod, its sleekness, actually reminds me of the early 2000s flip phones that came out. Especially when you take the battery door off, just sort of whoosh, flip phone. I think quite a gimmicky thing, but that was just a nostalgia thing for me. I'm not aware of anybody else who said that. It's beautiful. It comes with the clock. If you guys didn't spot that, there's a clock digital. We're going to go through all of the features. Don't stress. And just skimming over its awesomeness because I've really enjoyed this mod for the last 5 days. I have it on open airflow. We're going to go through all the coils and everything. I've just had to actually swap the coil head out. I burnt the other one. My first one I put in, I burnt it. So I've just primed this new coil. Give her a vape. She chucks a good cloud. And that is the wattage of 666 right now. Whoa. Yes, we all know my camera is horrible. That does say 666 wattage. And I've got it on mode normal right now. There's so many features in this thing. It's a wee gem. Whether it's definitely intermediate and up, possibly advanced. If you're intermediate, there's so many features on it you just won't use. If you're an advanced vapor, there's heaps you will, if that's your jam. And of course, hey Megs, there's the sexy red. So of course, Vaporesso.
I'm so disappointed. I was really hoping to do
It's
a bird's
not
eye
Italian,
view
it's
sort of
Chinese.
thing.
I just looked at chat. Thanks for that, Tim. Vaporesso. It sounds so Italian, you know, espresso. I want to say it like I'm talking about pizza and a coffee. I actually think it's a really cool name and just sort of rolls off the tongue. Right. How you going there, Megs? I know she's just sorting her cam out.
Sorry, guys.
There's this, hang on, just do a quick show of mine, the exterior case. So it comes in the colour with the black. So you know which one you've brought. I've got the blue, Megs has the red. Da, 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 da.
I really like
good
the red
to go
too.
there, honey. You're still muted. How is everybody in chat? Is anyone even interested in this mod? This is brand new out in New Zealand. Tim Vaping Kiwi is the first one out to have it. Look, I keep holding it up that way. This is something I also talk about. The firing button is on the other side compared to usual mods. So I actually hold it wrong all the time and can't see my screen and have to turn it around. But that's one of my little vaping quirks. That's not a thing necessarily for everybody.
Yeah, I'm a smidge disappointed. I was really hoping to do like from above kind of perspective, but I couldn't get the camera to stick to the roof of my light box. So sad face. So I have to do it like this. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably go. Let's get into it, eh?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, so it comes in this neat little box here, and it's got a lot of information on it as well. I'm going to try and see if I can get the details to come up. I've had to turn my autofocus off, mainly because it goes all over the place, so I'm going to have to do it manually. So you got the Omniboard information on one side, so kind of breaks down exactly what the Omniboard covers, as well as the RCT, which is the remaining charge time. So when you plug the USB cable, which it comes with, and you'll see that shortly, once the USB cable is plugged into it and you're charging it, it'll separate the two batteries and it will show you how long it will take to charge each battery.
It's actually a really cool feature.
Okay, so continuing down the side of this box, so you've got the revolutionary IML case. So it's durable and environmental friendly. The twist open design, I would liken it to a slide and fill kind of design, which I think is actually listed on their website. And it also has the unique drip tip to avoid spitback. And there's a heating insulation layer under the tank. So at the bottom of the tank, it has a heat insulation layer on there. And it's actually quite good. It avoids having the mod overheat when the tank gets quite warm. Because you know, like with a lot of the sub-ohm tanks that are available out there on the market, they get quite hot. Like the tanks get quite hot. So before I get into the back, yep, this is where you will pull all of the goodies out. And on the back side, it also has the specs for the mod as well, which is really awesome. Like the mod and tank specs. I'm glad that they have these on the back of them, because not a lot of products have the full specs of the items that they're selling. So I quite like that it's got those on there. So you've got the mod size being 45 by 89 by 28 millimeters, and the tank is 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and it's 56 millimeters tall. The mod weight, ooh, my lighting changed. So So we've got the mod weight, which is 138 grams. Tank weight is 66 grams.
Without
So yeah. And
without
even with the batteries, it's still a pretty light device.
it really is.
Okay, so we've got the output power being 5 watts to 220 watts. And it has an OLED display. I have to say it's a very impressive display. Even though the information and everything on there is exactly what you expect from your device, it's nice and clear and it's easy to read. And yeah, I like how it looks when you look at the display, and I'll show that to you shortly. The resistance range is 0.05 to 5 ohms. Temperature control range, so from 100 degrees Celsius to 315 degrees Celsius, or 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. So you've got the output being variable wattage, and that can be in high, normal, or soft. And you've got CCW, CCT, and the variable temp control options as well, in nickel, titanium, and stainless steel. And it also has TCR, and you can set your memory settings. I'm not sure about you, Mox, but I haven't had a chance to play around with those, so yeah, I have no memory settings.
I looked at it last night, but I did not set them, no, but I did discover where in the interface to do so.
Yeah.
And we will talk about the interface and software as well.
Okay, so we've got the RCT, which I had discussed on the side, which is the charging time, and has bypass, and it runs on two 18650 battery cells, not included. So in the kit you'll get your mod, the NRG tank, the GT4 core coil, and the GT8 core coil, a spare Pyrex glass, and a USB charge cable. Okay, so just going to open this app.
Actually,
real close to the camera.
I'm going to change my batteries. I just want to point out for people, so if you're looking at the specs and going, okay, what coil heads come with it because it comes with its tank and what have you, it is an all-in-one kit, but there's also two pieces of hardware. The NRG tank can be used on other devices in a tank in its own entirety, and is also compatible with the TFV8 Baby Beast coil heads, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Baby Beast, yeah. And the mod can also be used as a normal mod. So you can put RDAs on it and use those temperature controls if you use those sorts of coils, or if you want to play with those features. So this is where I was talking about earlier, where you can go right up into the advanced with this mod, because it's not specific to this tank, and it can take up to a 28 millimeter RDA on it. That's a nice feature, and 28 sits flush. I'm hoping Megs will show you that in a wee bit as well. Right, your turn, Megs. I'm going to swap my batteries.
Okay, so this is the USB cable that it comes with. So it's a quick charge cable. Oh, I should know this. The output, the amperage. Is it 2.5?
Yes, I believe so. Oh, apparently my audio to video is out. How's your net running at your end, love?
I'm currently not looking at OBS, bear with.
I know you're not. That's what just made me ask.
Everything's still looking good at my end.
That's an interesting tech difficulty. We haven't had that one before. Hopefully that rights itself. It could be just the storm, guys. If the net's still sweet at Meg's end, YouTube's still receiving fine. Let us know if that wrinkle just irons itself out. I'm hoping so, because I'm not sure what setting that is. That's one we've never had before. If you can,
so just continue.
Yeah, I think so, darling, because there's not a lot we can do right now about that. As long as they can hear you in these specs, I think that's what matters right now.
So also included in this box, where I had just pulled out the USB cable, there's a couple of manuals that cover the different languages, And you know, being like me wanting to get my hands like on the manual to have like a look at it, obviously I was looking out for the English one. My opinion on the manual, it's a little bit all over the place, kind of. I mean, I'm glad that it has like some details in there that I was able to kind of like understand, and
Oops.
because as well as that, it's also got all of the information as to what's in there, the breakdown of like the mod and the tank, and just need to make sure that this focus is still good.
So there's actually 2 manuals that came in the box. There are many different languages, but there is only one section on one of the booklets that is the English.
Yeah.
So if you say, oh, you can't see the chat, hang on, I'll just let you know what's going on. Some people are being affected by the storm with the audio video delay with me, some not. And apparently it's like I'm Bruce Lee doing the mouth moves things.
That is hilarious.
I know, Moxley in the house.
Okay. Now, Mox, what was your opinion in regards to the manual? I mean, because there was a couple of little bits and pieces that had me confused, and I kind of had to semi-work it out.
Yes, I agree. I believe for the amount of features in the menu and how deep you have to actually dive into the menu, I believe it could have been far more detailed. More clarity involved, I think. With so many languages being provided, I think they've lacked a bit on the actual content as opposed to providing a readable source for many, which is often, you know, fine, valid, but as products go out across the world in many places, but yeah, the manual lacked a bit for me, and there was a bit of trial and error and learning, and literally, how do I get into it? What am I doing? And button pressing and figuring it out, and hope something doesn't go wrong. That's a con for me. That's pretty much the first con. There is only a couple for my use of it, but there's one of them. So as you can see here, Megs is showing off another coil head that's available for this device, for the NRG tank.
I wish it came with the kit.
I really do too, actually. It would have been nice to try it. It sounds cool. I've never tried a ceramic coil head.
Yeah, and I just shown the warranty card, just really briefly, and then it's just got your warning that not to use it for anything other than vaping. What else could you possibly use it for?
It is amusing when they say those comments, isn't it?
Do not let the tank run empty to avoid dry or burnt hits. Do not overfill the tank to avoid any leakage. Before use, make sure to have the right battery as specified. When vaping, please adjust the airflow valves if applicable for the best vaping experience. Do not look into the drip tip when vaping to prevent juice spit in your eyes.
Is that also why they provided the spit back drip tip?
It wouldn't surprise me. When replacing the coil, make sure to follow the user manual to avoid spilling. Please recycle the battery properly. Keep all components away from children and pets. Do not use the device near gas stations area forbidden to vape, or in extreme temperature environments. I swear it feels like as if today is an extreme temperature environment. My goodness, it is freezing.
On the cold level.
Yes. I'm just currently trying to put everything aside, and now we'll just get to the star of the show.
The star of the show. Above and beyond, be amazed. The Revenger by Vaporesso. See, I want to say it all Italian like. I'm sorry. It just doesn't like a Chinese word to me.
Okay, so this is how it comes. I've taken off the protective plastic coverings on both sides of this mod, so obviously it's going
As
to come
have
with
I.
that. We've got the tank, got the spare glass, and there's the spare GT core coil. It's funny because I read on, where did I read it? I think it was like on the website saying that this coil, which is the GT2, no, I'm gonna pull this out of this little baggie.
It says that it comes with the 4 and the 8. I believe that, yep, that's what's on the back of the packet. The GT4 core and the GT8 core coil heads. Which one is in your hand, darling? What does it say on the side?
I'm reading it. Sorry, everyone. Let's readjust the focus.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, focus. See, she's got the flash camera. That's why she's doing the close-ups.
So I put the autofocus on, but yeah, I had a little play around with it and it kept looping itself. So yeah, so we've got the 0.15 ohm. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Get closer.
Yeah, that's
so it's
the one.
30 to 70 watt, best at 45 to 60. Yes. I'll have to try and make out what it says underneath. So yeah, so this is the spare coil. It comes in it, and the coils.
So
the little juice slots there, that they fantastic.
Just burnt
size.
out. Sorry,
this is the one you burnt.
Yeah, that's the one I just burnt out, and I have put the same coil head in that you have in. So yeah, I just burnt that one. My bad.
Oh please. Yeah, I like the fact that these are quite big, so then easily the wicking capability should be pretty good. Okay, so that's the coil. No, I'm just going to put it aside. Otherwise, I'm just going to be fiddling around, just trying to put everything back into its little baggie and stuff. So we've got the spare glass, which also comes with like the bunch of O-rings, and hey, Mike Vapes, Mike Fagan. It comes with a 510 adapter.
Yeah, all you big boy reviewers out there, darlings, we love you all. But we got a 510 adapter with that one. I don't know why you guys didn't.
It's in there. Do you want me to pull everything out? Because I mean, I can.
I think I just do that, because right there you guys can see in the packet, this obviously comes with a great amount of spare O-rings for the kit. This is, it's got a good little replacement accessories that come with it, I guess is what they are. They're accessories. Drip tip and adapter included.
Alright, that's that one. Let's go to the tank. We're going to the tank next. Alright, so this is the tank. This is the NRG tank. Oh, I need to change focus and Mocley. Alright. Okay, that's a little bit better. I like having this in the background because I know that it's there. Okay, so in this one I've got the can you say what it is? Is it the GT4?
Yes. Sorry, no. The GT4 is the one I just burnt. We have the one
that I was just holding. So this one's the GT8. So I got the GT8. And I'm just going to start from the bottom up. So you got like your 510 connection, and this is the heat insulation layer, and it works really well. I've had this heat up a wee bit whilst on the mod, and the mod doesn't heat up at all. And
yeah, I've tested it out as well by having a really good chamber. You can feel your tank getting hot. The mod doesn't get hot at all. There's literally a layer of heat where you can feel it being absorbed. It's a great wee feature on the bottom of the tank.
And the airflow on this is pretty good. It's got like a stopper, so it's not going to go any further than that when you open it. And it's much the same when you go to close it off. It's not going to go any further than there. But it's completely closed off on both sides. and yeah, it's just easily adjustable. And we've got the slide and fill. So it's got a little arrow.
Which you guys just saw me do. I just topped up my tank.
Yeah, so we've got a little arrow there, and you just push it over and it'll open up. And that's actually a really decent size. Like, you can put a dropper bottle in there if you're that way inclined with the droppers. I'm not a big fan of the dropper bottles. I usually tend to have bottles like this, where you just take the top off and just but yeah, I quite like the size of this. There aren't a lot of tanks that have the top fill where it has a decent size fill hole. Yeah, I quite like that. And I like that it doesn't have to go swinging all the way off.
Yes, I also like this.
Yeah, this is as far as it'll go. It doesn't need to go any further. It's great. And you slide it back into place, and it's done. And there's the drip tip. Okay, now this is going to be the fun part. I'm going to have to move this away to try and get the drip tip off so I can show the mesh. Shush a mesh.
And there is the spit bat feature, guys. So I think it's also a good time to note that the NRG tank, the whole kit, or the tank on its own, if you purchase the full kit or the individual tank. Now, let me just point out here, I'll pause on what I'm about to say. Let me point out not every vendor is going to sell them separately, because obviously a lot of them can just be purchased as a full kit and sold as a full kit. So be mindful of that wherever you may be in the world, but you can purchase them separately. And the NRG tank comes in 2 sizes. So you can get a 2mm or a 5mm. Both Megs and I have the 5mm in our hands.
Yeah.
I also think it's a really nice, easy vape with the airflow fully open, just how you see there in Megs' hand also.
Yeah. Usually whenever I have RDAs, I tend to close off the airflow a bit, or even some of the other sub-ohm tanks, I close those off a little bit as well. I tend to have them half open, but I've been quite happy having this one fully open, because I like a little bit of a restrictive draw. It's the demonstration, filling it. Yay!
I'm actually going to turn my airflow down, and I just noticed I just started to whistle. Being that I just put my tank back together, new coil head in, cleaned it just before the show. Yeah, I just noticed a whistle right there when I was vaping. So I'm just going to have I haven't gone too low with the airflow because I don't like too much of a restrictive vape, but it depends on the wattage also that you're vaping at. All these factors are mindful. Everybody vapes different, remember that. And with a wide bore drip tip like this, and obviously its wattage capabilities, you guys can assume correctly that this is a direct lung vaping device.
Sorry guys, I just had to pull the box completely out of the way so I can pull the wire out. Alright. Little disclaimer time. It's all nice and shiny right now.
Pause.
Pause it.
We have a question. Is the 0.05 ohm resistance range in both power mode and temp control? I believe it is, isn't it?
That's a really excellent question. I say that because I haven't really looked into that. From what I understand of Tim's site, so from the Vaping Kiwi site, the materials for the GT core coils are 316L stainless steel.
Which is how I burnt the coil head. Stainless, I had it up a bit high. Oops.
I believe that if you are going... Now, I'm just going to quickly grab this manual, so I'm just going to move this mod back a bit. There is a... there's like TCR value ranges for the different coils in the manual.
Yes,
so I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to pull this into focus.
Now, of course, hang on, pause there, Megan. Of course, keeping in mind, guys, not all of these detailed features are for everybody. I'm personally somebody who doesn't use temp control on any of my mods that have it on it, but that is my personal vaping. I just don't delve into those particular features with my coils. However, we know some of you do, which is why we're willing to go into detail about the specs that we've discovered in the short space of time we've had this as well. So, you know, remember, we've only had this 5 days. So, sharing with you guys pretty much.
And in that 5 days, I've been unwell.
Yeah, and we're sharing with you guys new info because this is a new mod to New Zealand, and I believe approximately only been on the global market about a month, approx. Don't quote me there. Okay, go. You, hun.
Yeah. So I believe if you wanted to go from these TCR range values for the temperatures, I believe that these are, well, I reckon that these values will be in Fahrenheit. So you can go by the material. But what I've done previously, whenever I have used temperature control in the past, especially with 316L wire, usually I use temperature control on a DNA device. That's normally when I use temp control.
However, there aren't too many mods out there. There are getting more now, but there aren't too many generally on the market with the Omni board. So, you know, some people are tentative to go be on the DNA board because they know it, you know. So we're just trying to show you guys what Omni board 2.0 has available going on with this mod. And I've just had a confirmation, or well, sort of confirmation from Tim in chat there, Megs, that Vaporesso doesn't list 2 different minimum resistances. So we presume, yes, that minimum resistance is across all features, power and temp control.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to say that whenever I've used temp control in the past on my DNA devices, I've done builds, so like stainless steel aliens, for instance, at 0.1 ohm resistance, and if I were to decide to use it in temp control, and this is full 316L build, I will have my DNA device set for about 100 watts at 420 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the point that I have found for me, for my enjoyable vaping experience using temperature control. I haven't had a proper chance at actually really getting into the temp control features of this mod because I've been unwell. I've been vaping at much lower wattages than I normally would, because my lungs just couldn't handle it. But at the same time, I didn't want to stop vaping.
However, so there's a range for the coil heads as well, and then it also says a best in this range, which is slightly within those parameters. And these coil heads are a little bit more of a lower wattage. So you don't also, which is, again, like I said before, with the stainless steel in the coil head, I had it up a bit high, which is how I burnt the coil head. So
I still found it surprising though.
Oh yeah, like especially
because such a low resistance, and then the wattages were considerably lower than what I normally would. So like a 0.15 ohm stainless steel coil build, I would normally vape at around 80 to 100 watts, 120. It was interesting. It was very interesting.
So you're obviously going to use the high wattages on the device if you put an RDA on it, is sort of where I was going with that, because it's easy to burn out the coil heads if they are such a material as stainless, because it's quite a soft metal. Okay, so as you guys can see, we've got sleek mod going on there.
I don't want to turn it over because it's all like shiny here and my fingers have been on the back. It's a bit of a fingerprint magnet.
Disclaimer, yeah.
Bow, bow.
So as you guys can see on the back there, yeah, Megs has got a few fingerprint smudges. It is a fingerprint magnet. So maybe that could be a thing for you if aesthetics and some people are OCD with things like that and you're constantly wiping it. Other than that, you know, the exterior, look at it. It's so sleek and beautiful. The vent holes on the bottom for the batteries, should they need venting, should they vent, sorry.
And we've got the three buttons, so you've got the mode button and you got the minus and plus, and the fire button on the side there. And to turn it on, you push the button 5 times. I'm trying to get my hand comfortable so I can do this. Oh my god, I can see me!
Yeah, that came up real good. As you guys can see, you can plug in this device to firmware. It's firmware upgradable and you can customize it if you are someone who likes to delve into those details and do such fiddly things. And believe me, getting into that menu and using the interface and figuring it all out and then saving it with all your detailed tiny images, it can be fiddly.
Yes. I thought that if I could find a way to get through this menu thing a lot easier, then yeah, I can make it work. But it's like, nope, I can't. I need my hands in there because it's not, the lighting goes all a bit funny. Okay, so at the moment this is in variable wattage mode. So up the top you've got your battery indicators and your, I guess, like vaping, strength, power thing. You can, you know how you've got mods where you've got normal, hard, soft. This has normal, high, soft. It says in the manual that the default setting, this will be at normal. No, my mod was on high.
So was mine. And believe me, that high strength mode, which is what we're calling it, the strength, it's powerful. Like,
yeah,
you get hit 60 watts and it feels like you're hitting 80, 90. Like, it's adds strength to that wattage. So be mindful if you use that setting because you like a punch vape or a hotter vape, or depending, of course, your style of vape, it will go through your battery faster.
Yeah. I haven't gone through every single function that is available on here, but I know that if you want to go into something that has to do with this particular setting, you just press the mode button 3 times. Oh. Okay, so you've got variable wattage and you've got the CCW. I haven't had to play with that. I will at some point because I want to know what this is about. And then once you, and then you can, use the mode button to select which one you want to use. And once you've made that decision, then you hard press to come out. The hard press is the same when you want to switch modes as well. So you want to change from variable wattage through to your temp control settings. This one is the stainless steel one. So currently at the moment I have it at 60 watts at 125 degrees Celsius. I think that works out to a little, oh no, I'm not even going to do the math, I'm sorry, because I remembered that I had lowered everything. So it's not even going to match.
You can customize literally every setting when you use the interface. The wattage, all of these things, you can get into them and do them on the mod, but you can also do them in the interface as well and save your profile, I guess it is.
Yeah. But when you're using it from your from the mod, the only thing that I was a little bit disappointed about in temp control is that you can adjust your temperature, but you can't adjust the wattage. You have to go to the menu, and you have to get to the menu to get to it.
And dive deep into the menu.
Yes. So in order to get to the menu, you need to hard press, skip the nickel, hard press again, skip titanium, hard press, memory 1, hard press, memory 2, hard press, bypass mode, hard press, system set. Okay, once you're in system set, you push the button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you can change the settings from in here. So once you've got your selection hard press, and there you can adjust your wattage for your temp control. It can be a bit of an annoyance if you have different types of wires that you have at different wattages, but I generally have one set wattage, and once it's set, I don't need to worry about it. So, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I normally vape like in temperature control at 100 watts, but I have it set for 60, and I'm happy with that there. And here in this menu, you can also set your time and your date. Go back to your default settings. The smart function. I really wish I'd done a little bit more research. I'm just trying to think, what's the best word? Research on the smart function. Mox is pulling out the manual.
Vaporesso. This is where one of those points where we're like, can we have some more details? We'd like to know just a touch more about this feature, please, because two lines isn't quite enough, and that's telling you how to turn it on and off in the menu. What's it doing? Is it turning the Omniboard smart features on and off? No, both Megs and I have turned it off. Nothing changes in the mod. Is it to do with battery balance charging? No, trying it every setting with smart on or off. We've been through it. What does this feature do? Does someone out there in chat know? Tim, can you enlighten us? It's great if it's smart, if it's learning, if it's up to something awesome and new. But what is this feature? I'm a little bit confused. I've turned mine off because I don't know if it's draining battery, because I don't know what it's doing. Now, I haven't discovered any other features myself where I'm going, what's that all about? Is that connected to the smart? Haven't come across anything like that. So there's a good array of covering over the mod here. But I don't know, when you've done so many languages, trying to cover so many bases, which is awesome, maybe make, as opposed to this, instead of this, and a corner is your language. Can you guys see those multiple, like it's repeated in different languages? How about you make a booklet, please? Maybe it could be just a little bit more user-friendly. Another page about the features on the mod, or the sections go into greater detail that gives you another page in each language. I'm sorry if that's killing another tree for your books, but we need a bit more info. We had to do a lot of dive down and playing and figuring out where these features are to get into it. For Megs to find where to change their wattage for each individual temp control feature. I couldn't even get into the menu initially, and I thought I had a dud mod. I'm going to own that. You know, like I couldn't figure out how I got the system set. There's nothing in that manual that tells me then 3 presses. I got lost. I couldn't get in the menu. Just a couple more details about each feature would have been great. It is easy to figure out once you get a vibe in, okay, button presses, combinations, sure, you know, like you can figure it out. It's relatively simple once you get on a roll. Or people like Megs and myself who may already have the mod, and can help you, guide you along, help you find features you're looking for. But this, the manual for these menu features is frustrating. That really is my biggest con, eh? All right. Is there anything else you would like to say? Oh, are you doing the off-screen, on and off-screen there? Did you guys catch it? I was talking. Did you see the off-screen? We customized both of them.
I'm about to turn it off.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. There it is. These are off-screen. All right, hang on. I'm just going to do a quick check for any questions there in chat.
No,
hey, we got a few more people hanging. Yeah, we got a few more people hanging. Hey there to Jock, Nah Hippie, which is Adam Vapes, Captain Vapor, John's in the house. Who else did I see strolling? There was a couple of people. Hey, Monkey Business. What's up out there to Paul? We got Australia hanging out. Paul's been hanging in Parliament today with all the what's goings on over in Australia. Okay, so Tim has said out here in chat, the smart mode remembers your settings based on the coil resistance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when you guys may or may not have seen it, I'm not sure if you've turned it back on yet, Megs. When you turn it on, if you've taken the tank off or your RDA, any type of atomizer, it says when you put a different one back on, when you turn it back on, new load. And you either just hit plus or minus to get through that screen. But it acknowledges that you've got a new atomizer on it. So I'm guessing that's where the smart mode comes in, and it will remember your settings for that atomizer. I believe that's where I'm going with that. Yes. Cool. So we've got positive comments going on in chat about the Omni chip because it's got the smart feature and the ability to turn it off if it's not something you're into. Cool. So what do you guys out there in chat think about this mod? Have you got any more questions?
Smart looking little device.
It really is a sleek little device. I reckon you can come back out from close up if you like their Megs, and we'll see what if the chat rolls up with any questions. As you guys can see, it is a sexy looking device. It is sleek. Megs has got that dark cherry red. I'm not quite sure what this is. Is it like it's not a sky blue, it's deeper, but it's not quite a royal. It makes me think of a fast car. Even though it's not red, my blue makes me think of a fast car. It's a racy wee mod. It's sleek, it's sexy. Okay, so Raven.
I like that red. I like it a lot. Okay, I'll be back up soon.
Cool, all good, guys. All right, so as you guys can see, this is something I was mentioning before. There's the Vaporesso logo. There's no buttons on that side. There's the back of the mod. There's the battery door. So, I'm not sure if I spotted it when Megs did a close up. There's a wee little niche just in one corner for the fingernail for the battery door. Just in one corner. I like that because I always look and go, well, how do I get the battery door off? Does it slide? I know it's magnet. Oh, Megan, mute yourself. Megan, mute yourself. Oh. Okay, well, you're really loud in my speakers, so you might be coming through. That's what I thought of. Yeah, I really like that little feature. Can you see it there? Mine's the shit camera, remember? So, little fingernail niche. I really like that. So what I was saying, I always pick it up like this, and then I go to vape, and I look at my screen, and I can't see my screen because my screen's not on that side. Sorry, the vape out of my mouth. Because I habitually always put the fire button away from myself. That's the way I vape. So this is different. When I got it, I was like, it's a left-handed vape. I've got a vape in my left hand to have the fire button away from me and be able to see my screen. Well, it's good to do that. I don't often vape in my left hand though. So I've had to turn it around, fire button towards myself to see the screen. Megan, did you show the flip screen feature? Yeah, okay. So there's a feature. You can turn the screen upside down. Some people like to turn their screen upside down. I guess it's so you could see your screen facing you while you're vaping. It's a random feature. I tried it. It was awkward. I couldn't see half my details. So it's like that's a feature it's not a feature I'm gonna use. It is, okay. Let's see if I remember right. The Oh, I'm gonna do it wrong now. Okay, no, so up and mode is locked screen. So I just locked myself. I was sure it was the other side. Oh, it's up and down. It's both side, plus and minus at the same time. Look, I'm upside down now. You go. Yep, plus and minus. It's both sides. There we go. It is upside down. So I wanted to see the puff counter, which is the thing along the bottom that looks like a temperature gauge, and it goes for the duration of how long you hold the fire button. So it's like your puff counter of how many seconds you inhale. I guess if you're doing competitions where there's a counted inhale, exhale, that's a good feature. It's a random feature for me, but I can't see it when I turned it upside down. That's what I wanted to look at, and I can't see that bottom. I can't see that bottom section of the screen. So turning it upside down for me, that's that's a feature I'm not really going to use. So yeah, as we said, you can lock the screen. It still fires. You can still vape. So that just locks your wattage button, so you can't knock up and down. I guess. Still totally vapable.
I'm still muted. I'm not anymore.
Oh, you were still muted. Oh, bless.
Yeah, I was muted in OBS. I completely forgot.
Okay, so you go to the Vaporesso website and you can download the firmware. So it's upgradable with whatever features they may bring out as updates or extras to upgrade with on the Omni board in the future as it comes. Megs and I have already done a 0.1 update because we downloaded the interface and did the customization and all the tutoring, the playing. It's a very user-friendly interface, but there are a lot of settings, and you have to remember to save. You can always go back to the factory setting defaults, of course. If you do heaps of work, you have to remember to save that profile and then load it into the device. Just because you've done it on the interface doesn't mean it's like auto-updating as you're going. You still have to, oh, excuse me, you still have to load it into the device. But once you figure out what settings what you can change, who, what, where, and you do it like you're spending 10 times and like you do all the bits, it's done. You save your profile and you're sweet, you've customized where you go. If that's your jam, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that. You don't even have to firmware update it. That's entirely your call. But those features are there and they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. All right. Have we? Oh, have we?
That's what I was like thinking. So, despite the little quirks that we might view as like cons, I really like this. It, like ergonomically, it sits really nicely in my hand. Really nicely.
Okay, so there's a couple of comments going on out in chat. Beautiful mod. It's pleasing to the eye. It's aesthetically sleek. It's complicated if you choose to use those settings. If you don't want them and you ignore them, you just scroll past them in the menu. Ain't nothing but a thing.
Yep.
Like the fact you can use this mod with other RDAs, that you can put a 28mm flash on it. Megs has a Kate, which is a really big RDA. It's not quite a Mason, but it's a 28mm.
That's a 30.
Oh, is it a 30? Sorry,
Yeah.
that's my bad. My bad. In Mark's review of the Revenger, which I looked at the other day, just to compare what he thought of it and what have you after him. Oh, Megs.
I'm sorry.
You lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought. Looking at his review, shit.
You're talking about the diameter space up here.
Oh, yes, sorry, thank you. He put a Schumann RDA or RDTA, I think it's an RDA, which is 28mm on it, and it is perfect flush, like there is no overhang. So and he had a vape with the Schumann on it, and he put the Schumann tank on it as well, which is also a 28mm. That looked great, like even with those bigger top pieces, whether it's a bigger atomizer of any sort, RDA, RDTA, tank, it looks good. It carries the weight. It's not heavy. Out of 10, Megs, what do you give this baby?
Ooh. Out of 10. For usability, as in like navigating through it, I'd probably give that a 6. But as a mod, like to use, etc. Like once it's all set and you've got it exactly how you have it. Say just wattage. We'll just go for just wattage work. I definitely give it like a good 9.5 out of 10. I say that so even if you were to turn it on and just fill up your tank and just go, it's excellent. It's excellent. It only becomes fiddly when you want to delve deeper into what the mod can do. And it's